Libra, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Libra love reading. Today we're going to do a little something different. Today we are going to take a look at your romantic person of interest and how they really feel about you here in February 2024. And we're going to go a little bit deeper and take a look at what they're thinking about you and what their intentions are toward you. But you know how people are, what we say we're going to do, what we intend to do, what we actually end up doing, those things don't always match up. So we're also going to take a look at what your romantic person of interest is most likely to actually do as it relates to you moving through February 2024 and beyond. And then we're going to end the reading with this second deck by getting you some advice from the universe on how to navigate this situation you're finding yourself in with this person. Kind of like what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how to play it so it works out best for you. So let's get on with this. Let's get 3 cards for how does Libra's romantic person of interest really feel about Libra here in February 2024, please. Get one more. How they really feel about Libra, February 2024. Oh, this is incredibly common, a weird thing that I see a lot of. Ask about somebody's feelings, and I get swords for a bunch of thinking going on. And then when I ask about what they're thinking, then I get a bunch of feelings. And we're dealing with somebody that's wired backwards here. On the bottom of the deck, what is underlying your person's feelings as they relate to you, Libra, is the 6 of Swords. This is Aquarius energy, and with the swords, underlying their feelings is thoughts, and what's in their feelings is thoughts. This is about moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving the rough, choppy waters of the past behind, leaving something painful behind, moving forward towards something that they want, where there's more clarity, where they're more likely to get what they want. At its core, this is about moving away from some mentally and psychologically painful thing, moving away from pain and toward pleasure, away from the past toward the future. There is an implied choice here, and the choice is like this painful thing has already happened at this point. Nothing you can do about that, but their choice in the matter is, do they carry the burden that the pain caused them into their future so it keeps weighing them down, or do they carry forward the lesson the painful thing taught them into their future? That way something like this doesn't happen again. So this is underlying what they're feeling. Underneath that, we finally have a cup. We have the King of Cups here. This is like Pisces or Scorpio energy. This is someone who has a lot of love and emotions for you, but the King of Cups doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He doesn't always publicly broadcast his emotions or how he feels about things, good or bad. So this could be someone that has a lot of love and emotions for you, but they're not really talking about that. They're not expressing that. It could be someone who is going through emotional turmoil and they're not really talking about that. They don't really express that. You can't really tell by looking at them. Something emotional going on under the surface here related to moving away from pain. It looks like leaving something behind. There's a big change here underneath that. This Wheel of Fortune is a change in the luck and fortune. It's usually if things are going good, this would be the wheel spinning the other way and it goes to hell in a handbasket. It could be vice versa. Things could be going bad and now they're trying to make some sort of a change here. This is what's underlying their feelings though. Too many swords for my taste. What actually came out for their feelings about you, Libra? We got Judgment as their first card, Queen of Swords, 5 of Swords. So we got way too many swords. Judgment is a powerful major arcana card. This represents a final verdict and judgment being passed. This would be like calling a relationship dead and over with, like passing judgment on it that way. This could even be like trying to resurrect a relationship and bring it back to life, and passing judgment as in like resurrecting this and let's do it again. I don't see that's what's going on with this, because we have this moving away from energy here and we got something emotional going on, something changed here. This is looking like in their feelings for you, the most important element of that is some judgment has been passed. It looks like we got the ending of a relationship, especially because that's followed by the Queen of Swords, Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. She's holding her hand out like that because she's offering to let someone speak their truth. Tell me your side of the story. But she already knows the truth. So the truth they speak better match the truth she knows, or it's off with your head, which that's like a pretty severe passing of a judgment right there. Looks like they're feeling like you passed a judgment on them, you ended everything, and then this Five of Swords is a betrayal energy. It's the Aquarius card here. It's the one that comes right before this Six of Swords on the bottom. So this is the mentally and psychologically painful thing that you're moving away from in this event. It usually represents a betrayal. It can represent a big fight, an argument. Like fives are conflicts, so this could be a conflict in thinking, or like we're thinking two different ways, or a conflict in communicating, like words being used like weapons, tongues being used like swords. It could be a big fight like that. This can be someone who has this winning at all cost mentality, even like the I'm going to get what I want no matter what, and if you get hurt, tough shit for you. And it could be that they got caught up in some kind of a betrayal and you cut them off, and that's what ended things. This could also just mean that they're viewing you as the opponent here, and you're the one that severed this, and they feel betrayed by it. So now they're moving on, even though they still have love and emotions for you. It's just too much has changed here. I do have right under that Wheel of Fortune, though, Knight of Swords. This is the fastest knight in the deck. This is like rushing forward, taking this very rapid, decisive action on something. It sometimes represents somebody who doesn't think things through first. And this is not the person that reads the instruction manual. This is the person that just starts doing stuff and then they'll think about it after they're done. So sometimes that can be like impulsive, spontaneous, kind of like do something right now when I didn't think about it first kind of energy. That could be what changed here. We do have some heavy burden being attached to that, and a lot of fear, worry, and anxiety attached to that. Oh, Three of Swords attached to that. Heartbreak, sadness from the third energy. Commitment right below that. Yeah, so we got a lot underlying their feelings. It's like they got a lot going on under the hood. Way too many swords. There's 2, 3, 4 swords in this little story on the bottom of the deck, and 2 out of the 3 cards for their feelings are swords. So they're not feeling like they're in a good spot. Let's take a look at what the hell they're thinking about you now. So what is this person thinking about Libra here in February 2024, please? What are they thinking about Libra? Yo say. Oh man. On the bottom of the deck, underlying their thinking about you, Page of Cups. Pages are messengers, so this would be news and messages and communicating about love and emotions, like expressing feelings here. Sometimes this can represent an apology. It is a page, and the page is the lowest of the court cards, so this is like the least developed of the court cards. So it can be somebody who's not fully emotionally developed, is somebody who's not fully emotionally mature. The fish in the cup can represent like, I don't have the, I can't have you looking at me right in my eyes because I'm not mature enough to withstand that kind of a pressure. So I want you distracted and looking over here at the fish in my cup. I'd rather you look at that and not look at me. Not fully developed in that sense. That could even be sleight of hand type thing where I'm apologizing, but I've got some trick up my sleeve and this is just a distraction. We do still have some feelings here, and again, it's like I'm looking at their thinking now, and the first card that I see is a cup, which would be emotions, feelings. So again, they're wired backwards. There's looking like an apology or some communicating that they're thinking about doing. They're probably thinking about expressing a feeling or apologizing. We have the World here. That's probably what's spurring them on. This is the final card of the major arcana. It's the ending of a cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of a new cycle. When I got far enough down the bottom of the deck in there, what's underlying their feelings, there was burden, fear, worry, anxiety. Could be that they're not really digging this idea of it's over and I'm starting a different thing here. Now, wanting to work on it, Libra energy, 8 of Pentacles. This is a card of work, putting in the work, time, effort, and energy on something, or being willing to do that. 2 of Cups, now they want to work on their relationship. This is what's underlying their thinking about you. When I look at the actual thoughts that come out, we get the Tower, 6 of Cups, Temperance. The Tower is a foundation rocking event. This is the collapse of some important structure in this person's life, and that's primary on their thinking. Primary on their feeling is judgment being passed and something being dead and over with. Looks like they're pinning it on you for cutting them off. That's what it would appear. This is the collapse usually of their relationship. Sometimes this is the collapse of a belief system, like this mental model that they're operating from and the way they think it's going to work. And then suddenly something happens and it shatters that whole belief system. And now, like, what the hell do I do now? That's where their thinking's at. Six of Cups is Scorpio energy. This is a card of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. It can represent something from the past trying to make a comeback, someone from the past trying to make a comeback. This is central to their thoughts. Reminiscing about you and thinking about a comeback here. Apology is coming if it hasn't happened yet. Final card here in their thoughts about you, Libra, is Temperance. This is the Sagittarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of patience. It's a card about blending things together to make something new, but being patient about that, being willing to do it little bits at a time and like make adjustments to it and try and get it just right. In a love reading, this can represent reconciliation, because in tarot, water represents love and emotions, and the water, the love, has been separated into two different cups, and this angel is recombining the love back together, like blending the two of you back together. So this is looking like a case where now that you've ended things with them, this is like, oh wait, this is serious now, and now they're spending a lot of time in their head thinking about emotions and apologies and coming back and reconciling, and let's do this for another lap. I want to put the work in on our relationship now. Oh, Queen of Cups right behind that. All this love and emotions that they feel for you now. Okay, that's a good change. What are their intentions toward you? Let's take a look at their intentions. What are this person's intentions toward Libra in February 2024, please? Bottom of the deck. Three of Swords. Libra energy. This is heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. That third energy is not always a romantic third party. It doesn't have to be that. It can be that. Don't get me wrong. It's not always that. Sometimes it's mom being nosy. Sometimes it's friends and family members sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. Sometimes it's coworkers, neighbors. Who knows? It could be any number of things. It could be watching too much Netflix has become this third energy. Going to the bar too much has become a third energy. There's some heartbreaking thing going on for them. This is a card of like emotional loss related to commitment. The Hierophant, Taurus Major Arcana card. This is being in a committed relationship, being committed to something, taking it to the next level. And this is usually like engagement, marriage, like being fully committed to something. But there's heartbreak tied to that. Now there's some sort of a wall in the way. Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy. It's a card of being walled off and defensive. It can be a barrier is in the way to something. It's also a card of healing. This is the wounded warrior, and he's been hurt. Hence the wall he builds around himself. So the wall is a way to protect himself so he doesn't get hurt again, so he doesn't continue to get hurt. So we have two cards here indicating pain involved. What's weird about this is his intent, their intentions. I shouldn't say his. It could be a woman. This is their intentions are heartbreak and sadness and commitment and hiding behind the wall because I've been hurt. That's Five of Wands below that. Leo energy. Fives are conflict. This is conflict in their desires, like an internal conflict where a piece of them wants one thing, another piece of them wants this other thing, and they're pulling themselves in different directions at the same time. Internally conflicted and torn about something. About happiness. Another Leo energy. The Sun. Happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. That's happiness. That they're conflicted about birthing something new. The Empress. She's the mother of the tarot deck. So she is always pregnant. She's always giving birth to something. So she represents the birth of something new. Sometimes that can represent the birth of a new connection or the rebirth of a connection. I've already seen the world where they don't want this to be over. This is underlying their intentions. The first card in their intentions is the Wheel of Fortune. Like, they don't want this to be over. They want to spin the wheel the other way. Also in their intentions, 3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man got an extra one here. So they're stuck on something. Possibly that internal conflict. This Wheel of Fortune is, again, a change in the luck and fortune. If things have been going bad, which clearly there's been a judgment, there's been either a big fight or a betrayal, a severing, tower collapse. Now I'm all stuck in my head about the past, wanting to put us back together. I'm heartbroken over our commitment and the barrier that's between us now. I know I want to turn the wheel the other way and right the ship, so to speak. Their whole first column is Major Arcana, Judgment, Tower, Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Cups is the next card in their intentions. This is Cancer energy. This is a celebration energy. This is about being reunited and celebrating. So there's the severing. There's this, now I'm reminiscing about the past and I'm heartbroken and I want to be reunited with you. I've got 2 cards, one in their thoughts, one in their intentions, about reconciliation. Actually, the other card to me that can mean anything about reconciliation would be Judgment, because yes, it could be dead and over with, but the other option is it can be resurrected. It can be brought back to life and transformed. So I actually have in their feelings, first card is Judgment. In their thoughts, last card is reconciliation. And here in their intentions, the second card is also about being reunited and celebrating. Next, we have 10 of Pentacles. This is most people's goal in terms of the physical world. This is like the combining together of 2 people or 2 families and all their assets and resources to build this stable, abundant, prosperous life. This is a step up from the 9 of Pentacles, which is about being independent and I can take care of myself. This is like, now we're combined together, not independent anymore, but combined together. And that's right beside being united or reunited, either way, and right below this idea of temperance, like blending back together. There is still some 5 of Swords, like that's betrayal, that's mental psychological pain. This is a big giant fight. There's still this speaking truth and severing something here, which is probably why we've got this Hanged Man card still with nothing to go with it in a column. This is Pisces energy of progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck at a dead standstill. I don't understand why a person would want to intend to turn things around, intend to be reunited, intend to combine together with you, and then intend to put the brakes on that. That doesn't really make sense. So this must be the other meaning of the Hanged Man, which is like he's hanging upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different perspective than he normally would, a different point of view than he would normally look at things from. And he's doing that because he's trying to figure out, what has this stuck? Why am I stuck? And how do I get myself unstuck so this can move forward? With all this underlying energy here, though, he's like, there is some defensiveness in here. I got that 9 of Wands. I got the 5 of Wands being internally conflicted about something related to happiness and rebirthing this. And then this defensive energy here of the 7 of Wands right behind that. There's a lot of Leo right here. A lot of Leo, a lot of fire, really, period. That's their intentions toward you, Libra, in February 2024. But you know how people are. What we intend to do, what we actually do, don't always match. So I'm going to take a look at what is this person's most likely actions toward Libra as we move through February 2024 and become what are their most likely actions, please. Bottom of the deck, what's underlying their most likely actions? Page of Cups. Again, news, messages, communicating about lovey-dovey stuff, expressing feelings, apology. If they have not communicated an apology and how they feel and what they're thinking about and all that stuff we've already been through, that's coming if they haven't done it yet. The World, yeah, how they're going to express feelings about the ending of the cycle and the beginning of the next cycle. This is like, let's go for another lap is what, yeah, let's put the work in on it. Let's put the work in on the relationship. You've seen me shuffle this how many times since this came up last, and here it is again in that same order. Queen of Cups again, like having all the love and emotions for you. When I look at what they're most likely to actually do, we get the Chariot, the Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Hermit. The Chariot is the Cancer Major Arcana card. Again, this whole first column for them, Major Arcana, powerful energy. The Chariot is about using the will to overcome obstacles and challenges and problems that are in the way. It's getting by all that stuff just through sheer will alone and moving forward very quickly in success and victory. This is the fastest moving energy in the deck. It does have a meaning that's related to alignment, though, because you can see we have a dark side and we have a light side here. So this is either the fastest energy in the deck, or it's every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man, because if this driver, if your person isn't in full alignment, if all parts of themselves aren't pulling in the same direction, this either isn't going to go anywhere and it's every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man, or it's going to, dark side pulls this way, light side pulls this way, and it tears itself in half on the way forward. Don't know if that applies to your person, but as with all of it, take it as it resonates. But this is, like, at its core, the will to overcome. Next in their most likely actions, Page of Pentacles. This is more news, messages, and communication here. We see that with the Page of Cups we've seen a couple times. This is communicating about some practical, tangible, physical opportunity presenting itself. Again, because it's a page, it's the least developed. This is a person who is at like the beginning stages of developing a plan for the future. That plan for the future is tied to reconciliation here. This will to overcome is tied to turning things around and changing it. This plan for the future that's at the beginning stages is also tied to this Two of Swords here, which is Libra energy, of a decision that needs to be made that hasn't been made yet. Now, the person on the card has a blindfold, and that can represent a couple of things. It can represent that there's just not enough information here to make the decision yet, which is why it hasn't been made. There's something that they haven't seen yet. Sometimes that blindfold can represent someone having blinders on, as in there's something I don't want to see, and me refusing to look at that has prevented me from making a decision. But this is a Libra card, and we're looking at what their most likely actions are going to be toward Libra, and their plan revolving around a decision that hasn't been made yet. I see right here in their feelings about you, central to that, Queen of Swords, more Libra energy. They're viewing you as the one that has the decision to make here. That decision is about their plan of combining things together. This is looking to me like they're going to come to you wanting to get past whatever happened, having some sort of an apology, expressing feelings, expressing this early stage plan, and now you're going to have some sort of a decision to make, and it's not their decision, which is why they're not making it here. It's going to be your decision. And next we have the Hermit, which is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is a card of withdrawal and isolation. It's about being forced to go inside themselves and do some soul searching, to do some deep inner reflection, some deep contemplation, like trying to figure out what to do moving forward from here. A lot of times this will mean that there's a communication goes silent, like they're not talking to you. This almost looks like, hey, I want to overcome this. Here's my plan. You got a decision to make. Don't answer me now. Tell me whenever, and I'm going to leave you alone until then. Hopefully that's what that is, to give you time to think. It's interesting that I tried to get 3 cards, and I got an extra card for their intentions and for their most likely actions. And that's about like, we're on hold, and I'm waiting, and we're not talking, and I don't really know what's going on, but these 2 cards are actually really similar energies in the sense that they're both really about trying to figure out what to do moving forward. The real difference in that aspect is about where the focus is placed here. Like in the Hanged Man, he's looking at things from a different perspective, like external things, not internally, like the hermit is looking. He's looking inside himself, inside his own soul, inside his own shadow. He's looking at what is it about me that I need to make adjustments on so that I can successfully move forward. And this is about looking at what out here external to me has me stuck. So that's actually like making progress here. If we're going from Hanged Man to that, even though like the numbers wise it's not making progress in terms of like the development, because if you start out blaming external stuff, you're kind of the victim at that point. But then here it's like, no, wait a minute, it's not just the external shit. I got something to do with all that external shit. So it looks like there's some thinking going on about that. Maybe that's thinking that you need to be doing when you are contemplating whatever this decision is that they're going to put on you. But it looks strongly to me like they are trying to come back for another lap. They're trying to put this back together and turn the wheel the other way and overcome all of this stuff and trying to get you back. And it looks like that's the choice they're going to put on you. Now, let's take a look at some advice for you, Libra. Get you some advice from the universe on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, kind of like how you should navigate this situation, how you should play it so it works out in the way that's best for you and what's in your best interest. So let's get Libra some advice here. What's the advice for Libra about how to navigate this? Okay. One more. What is the Thank you. Okay. I don't read reversals. You don't really need to read reversals when you got all this other context out here. It's way more context than upside down or right side up. So I'm not taking it in reverse. Anytime I flip it right side up, if it's supposed to be that way and that's like a meaning that I'm supposed to get out of that, then I get told like really loud that I'm supposed to take it, and that didn't happen here. Underlying your advice, Libra, Page of Wands. There's more news, messages, and communications. This is about passion and desire, so this would be communicating what I want, communicating what I desire. It could even be like passionate messages. I got lovey-dovey messages here. It could be lovey-dovey passionate messages. Oh, by the way, here's my plan. Oh, yes, this seems like good advice. Four of Swords. When you get said passionate messages, this is someone who has the willingness to take the first step down a brand new path towards something that you have passion and desire for. That's what these messages are about, to get you into the willingness. Four of Swords is Libra energy. This is about, fours are stability. Swords are about the thoughts, the mind. So this is like stabilizing your thoughts, stabilizing your mind, calming your mind down. Don't let your mind run away with you and like start swirling over anything that they communicate to you. Don't let your desire to take a step in the right direction or what feels like the right direction, don't let that like get out of alignment here. This is about calming your thoughts down, taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a chill, so you can think and figure out what to do moving forward. Two of Swords. They're definitely going to put a decision on you. This is, again, Libra energy. The decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet. Like I said here in this version of it that showed up, the blindfold is there. This is the only deck I've ever seen where the person on the Two of Swords doesn't have their eyes covered in some fashion. This person has their eyes wide open. She's not making a blind decision. She has looked at everything in front of her and she's thinking it through, and she hasn't made her decision yet because she hasn't finished thinking it through yet, but she can clearly see. So I don't know what that means for you. I would assume with the Five of Swords up here that we had some sort of a not good thing going on, which is why things ended. And I think that is saying keep all your facts in sight. Keep everything in mind. Don't let anything get like stirred up and cause you to like ignore something. What came out in your advice? The High Priestess, Seven of Wands, the Empress, Five of Swords, Judgment. Very interesting that the last two cards for you are also in the very first row of cards I pulled for your person. This High Priestess is she who knows. We've already seen she who knows the truth, also in the first row for your person's energy. This is she who knows, period. Like, she knows everything. She sits in front of the veil of consciousness, so she has access to all information that you and I don't have access to. She knows everything. Problem is, she doesn't always tell us everything. Sometimes there's stuff we're just not meant to know. Sometimes there's stuff that we don't need to know until it's time, at which point she clues us in through our intuition, through gut feelings, signs, synchronicities, dreams. Like, she is your internal knowing. She represents your unconscious mind. She represents your intuition. She's the source of all feelings and emotions. This tells me, intuitively, you already know what you're supposed to do. Intuitively, you probably already knew what was going on before whatever truth came out and this severing occurred and tower collapse. All that is like, you already know. I'm not telling you anything new here. 7 of Wands. Leo energy. This is walled off and defensive energy. This is like defending a position on something, defending your stance on something, being willing to fight to protect what's important to you, fight what you desire, fight for what you believe in. This can represent fighting for a connection. This is telling me that you know what is important to fight to protect. Empress is next, the birth of something new, the mother of the tarot deck. This is either the birth of something new or the rebirth of something. This is the 2 of the major arcana. This is the 3 of the major arcana. And right between them on the table is this defensive, protective energy here. And I think this is what it's being defensive and protective about. The 5 of Swords and Judgment. Again, we've already seen the 5 of Swords and their energy. This is Aquarius energy. 5s are conflict. This is a conflict in words, like bitter words, words like weapons, fighting, winning at all costs mentality. This represents a betrayal most of the time. And no matter what this is, it represents a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. And we have Judgment tied to that, which in their energy, that's what it felt like. You passed a judgment on me, and you made this dead and over, you cut me off, and there's a betrayal involved. Whether that's them betraying you and that's why there was a judgment and a severing, or whether they feel betrayed by that, maybe both at the same time. Same concept is showing up here. This is your final decision. Like I said here, this feels like your decision. I saw that here in the energy on the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah, I didn't go far enough. There's the Hanged Man again. So it's like, do not make a decision until you have calmed your mind down and thought everything through and weighed all the options and all the pros and the cons. There's something here for you to defend. And I don't know if like this birth of something new is connected to this 5 of Swords betrayal, as in that's what they did. They betrayed you by birthing a new connection while they were already in one with you. I don't know if this is going to be rebirthing betrayal, rebirthing mental and psychological pain. But that is the decision that you have to be able to calm your mind down enough to receive. That's another thing with this High Priestess. This is your intuition trying to talk to you. And this 4 of Swords is about calming your mind down, calming your noisy chatter mind down, so that you can actually pay attention to and hear the messages that are being sent to you. Because you do have an important decision coming, and if this person hasn't already contacted you, they're fixing to. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. And when you do, you'll be taken to more Libra love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.